welcome everybody to the Slab Lounge. We only have Robert with us today. Slab Lounge. I'm not gonna bring up any fake sponsorships, but I will say this. Seeing as because me and Robert we were literally talking about like Happy Gilmore 2. Um, I had no intention of watching it like whatsoever. But seeing as how you're bringing up the topic of movies, because I was like, okay, so Naked Gun reboot, right? I don't know what the fuck happened, but the OG director, he is boycotting it hard. I mean hard. He's talking about like how they never consulted him about anything about the reboot. He's like, if you want to watch it, that's fine. No harm, no foul. But like, I can honestly say this is bullshit. And I'm like, really? I was not expecting. Like, look, it's not like the fucking what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like the whole like because I saw that one trailer, like the OJ bit. That's what made me laugh. Like it legitimately made me laugh. Uh, um, uh, uh, oh, it legitimately made me laugh with that OJ bit. Am I gonna like watch it opening night? Probably not. Um, but like it's not like it's a lot like the boycott. It's not like the boycott the OG director of The Crow did, or he was like how that person was all like this. The Lionsgate reboot is actually looks like dog shit, and I'm just all like, okay, fair enough. I didn't even know about the Crow reboot. It came out like a few years ago or whatever, but like I didn't even know that thing existed.
They remade The Crow?
Yeah, you didn't know either.
No?
Yeah, they did. Lionsgate did it.
Why? Why?
Exactly. Oh my god. I don't even know why people. Oh, sorry, I'm blowing my nose. I don't even know why people were clamoring for the Crow to come back to begin with. I mean, look, you can say like, "Oh, it's Brandon Lee's legacy. This is it's disrespecting the Crow." Look, but okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Okay, the Crow only had one and a half good movies. The Crow one. The first one was it was good. I say I have to basically gauge myself. Um, the
It
Crow.
was good for the time it got released.
Well, as much as I want to say that's true, City of Angels had its moments. It was like half of a good movie, you know? You know what I mean?
But
So,
I'm just saying, like the times it was and like the movie type on there, it kind of fit. It fit in that era. Like whether or not you like it or not, like you like it fit in the era. My thing is like these movie companies are so lazy, so they want to redo this stuff, right? But it's also like I guess they're forgetting like why some things were special because of the time period it was released in, things that was going around. Like it was just magic, right? And like, you know, like if you look at what was like it like was I just saw a thing yesterday, it was like 97, I think 997. They had so many great movies that came out in that year, right? And it's just like when you go back and look, it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like I don't see how did they all do this running here, and it's like because like I don't know, like 90 films and stuff on there, it kind of fed the times, and people kind of relate to it. Nowadays, it's like we kind of switched to hey, like after they kind of came up with the success with Iron Man, and then like, oh hey, comic book movies can kind of work. I mean, they did have a couple ones spread out in like 90s and early 2000s, but let's be real, it wasn't really until kind of like after that the Spider-Man run, and then they did like the Iron Man. They're like, yo, this is very credible. So they just kind of got an easy shit on there. And then so other studios are kind of looking like, well, we should find something that's easy for us to make money on that we are known good winners. And they're like, well, most of the shit that we come up new shit, people hate or because we kind of just get lazy with the writing. So let's just go back and let's see these gems that were being popular back then. And like, let's reboot it. And it's super lazy. And the problem, I think, maybe like 40% of the problem with most of the reboots is they don't do good casting. If they were gonna do this, like usually it's like forced castings. Might be like this person's like the hot actor now, and I might be the hot actor now, but they're not fit for the role.
Okay. All right. All right. That. I'll kind of agree with that because, again, with the Naked Gun reboot, right? Originally, I didn't want to. I wanted nothing to do with it because Seth MacFarlane, like, apparently was writing it. Not anymore. But I will at least agree that Liam Neeson fits that fits that role. So because he actually did do like dry humor stuff, and that's entirely
Oh,
cool.
he's taking over Leslie's spot.
Yeah, well, he's Frank Drebin's kid. Like he's not actually Frank Drebin.
Okay,
Yeah. Um.
okay.
Yeah, but
At
like.
least they kind of got that right. Like, at
Mm,
least like they're like we're not just gonna be like he's him again. So you don't have like direct comparisons. At least you have some wiggle room.
yeah. Yeah. So with the Crow reboot, I mean, I heard nothing but bad juju about it. Like when it came out, like everything that was like overly, they were like trying too hard to be goth, and like trying being overly violent just made it look silly and stupid. And I'm like, was Crow really that gothic to begin with? I mean, all he did was paint his face white and have that stupid trench coat. Because Robert's right, it was the 90s. Everybody was into black leather nonsense.
Yeah, it was goth, emo, grunge kind of shit. So I'm saying like it fit the era where you could get people interested in it, or you could at least talk to people and sell it more easily than now, right? Like you sell it now, it's like so you got some white boy and white makeup and a leather coat. Are we doing a documentary about a school shooting? Like what are we doing?
Jesus Christ. But, like, it's so fucking. It, like,
And who's the actor who's playing the crow this time? Did you look that up or
no, I honestly forgot the actor that played him. I honestly forgot.
not the original one, the remake?
Yeah, no, I know what I'm talking. Yeah, I know the remake.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referencing. I honestly because like they actually did name drop the actor and that actor's performance, but I honestly forgot. Oh man, shit. Man, the reboot. Look, my opinion on my 2 cents on reboots is if the thing is 20 years old, right, minimum 20 years old, then it can be rebooted. Because enough time has passed. This is for a new generation. Let them experience that whole thing. Just make sure you do two things. One, get the casting writing properly, and two, make sure you give credit, not credit. Make sure you respect the identity of said IP. Because like take, all right, I'll do it. Take Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, the Batman trilogy. Regardless of how you feel about the Dark Knight Rises, it still largely gave Batman that level of respect. Same goes with the same goes with the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. No matter how you feel about the third one, it still paid respect to the Spider-Man Spider-Verse. And the casting was good. The writing was it wasn't great because it's based on comics, and let's be honest, the superhero comics industry's writing overall is very few can actually stand out. Another good technical reboot was because I don't think you watched it. I actually did watch the Paramount CGI Watchmen, both chapters, and they managed to include that whole comic pirate thing throughout the entire narrative. But rather than it tacked on at the end, they weaved it into the overall narrative, and it did a good job. And on top of that, there were titties.
That's where the Watchmen came from.
Still, like no, like the Watchmen thing, that was actually legitimately a very good remake of the Snyder version. It was good. So that's my 2 cents on like rebooting stuff. It's just whatever.
I don't know. It's like you said, like 20 years. It's like I feel like it needs a purpose. Like 20 years, I think the purpose would be like I want to reintroduce this to new generations who might not watch the original run.
Yeah.
Okay, And if you stay too, it's like, and then my thing would be like, okay, are you doing it as an homage or you just want the character? Because it's like doing it as an homage, you kind of want to stay close to like maybe the original writing, maybe just give it like new updates and features with new technology. While other people they'll take that this like I just want to run this one to make my own thing, and I feel like that's the biggest risk on there because it's like unless you got a clear vision on this, or like you already know you're gonna make like a trilogy of it, so you can like more establish your own vision on it. The one shot movies don't really work out that well because it's like you're trying to change it enough that you can say you put your own stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
But most people don't understand the vision if it's just one movie, and they just deem it as you ruined a good movie to try to make this.
True that. But switching gears. So it is rumored, like since ever since Warner split up into two companies, it is rumored Sony might be Sony's thinking about buying the um, Warner's streaming service, which includes everything DC related, the films, etc., 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 etc. So essentially, Sony would get like Harry Potter, the entire DC universe, Looney Tunes, everything that's under Warner Brothers. And
I think they also get Game of Thrones IP,
mm-hmm, yeah,
and that's part of where I think like maybe they're trying to do it for more video games. And I mean, it'd be great if they will actually release some of the films that Warner Brothers shelf because they were in a hole. But I think overall, Sony's probably looking at, like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and stuff like that as we can make some more video games off there and get a lot of money off of it.
that's what I'm thinking too. It's just
Because, like, they got these PlayStation games on there, so that GTA stuff on there, they got the PlayStation. So it's like, bro, we can make a better. Because I think Lord of the Rings is also underneath that thing as well.
yes,
So it's like you have Lord of the Rings. You can make another game because I remember what back in the remember when they made that Lord of the Rings computer game for a while. It wasn't that great. It could have been better.
well, to be fair, none of the latter games were good. Like none of them were. Oh no,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now,
Shadow of Mordor. I forgot about that. People loved Shadow of Mordor with that rival system. Fine, I'll give you that one at the very least.
yeah, so they had a spark, but
Yeah,
they could do more develop on there. Just also like when they did Hogwarts Legacy, it had a lot of like tailwind behind it and stuff on there, but it still kind of fell short. But you could kind of see like, bro, if we got to do this with all those franchises, like an open world type of thing, kind of the vein of like, I know everyone gets tired of it, but like a Zelda Breath of the Wild type of shit. You got to put that system with either with Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones type of things on there. I don't know. You could be cooking with gas depending on the people who's doing the project. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. But that's a big if, considering how Sony is still like doubling down on live service. They really want that live service money, and I'm like,
Okay, but that's where they're gonna get it. They could easily do if they put the money and stuff on there, a Hogwarts type of fucking law, like a WoW type of Hogwarts or a Game of Thrones type of thing where you come in, create your characters, do like raids and shit, all kind of tough on there. Live service, like I already see why they're justifying the purchase. I'm just looking forward to being like, okay, we get the game side, but you got all this other like animation and video. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Like Looney Tunes, what are you gonna do with that? Like, I always think they should redo the Looney Tunes show. I love that show. It was kind of great, like kind of adult theme, fucking great on there and shit on there. Um, the Batgirl movie, they could release that. What
mm-hmm,
about John Cena's Acne movie? Like,
yeah,
it had great reviews.
yeah. Well, the Acme movie is still gonna come out, but that's mainly I forget who saved it, but like yeah, that's still a thing. Besides, it's not that like Sony is dealing. Like the more I think, because like Sony's actually getting hit with a class action lawsuit, like from. So get this, like so what's with this class action lawsuit? So it's like a bunch of people from Australia like got together to sue Sony because Sony was charging. If you go on their PSN over on the Aussie side, you are forced to pay what is quote a Sony tax, which makes digital copy games 47% higher than if you were to go grab a physical copy. I'm not shitting you.
Why just for Australia?
I don't know. Either way, they're getting together for a class action lawsuit, and that
'Cause that
that
seems like weird. Because it's like if you're going with online digital one, there shouldn't be like. Cause you would think there'd be more for the physical copies, just because like we got to get it there. But then again, that's like most countries, you got to get it there. So yeah, that's weird.
it is. You want to hear? You want to hear? Wow, I cannot English anymore. You want to know? You want to know what's even weirder though? Sonic the Hedgehog is getting like Magic the Gathering cards.
So it's like going to be a limited edition run,
I don't know. Like it's just like
or
yeah
wait,
no
so is it Magic the Gathering card, and they're going to have Sonic theme, or Sonic's fighting off of Magic?
no like so who owns Magic the Gathering? Is it Hasbro?
I
Um
think it's that, bro.
yeah
It's got a couple of over there.
so Sonic's gonna be in Magic the Gathering. Hasbro like just announced it or whatever, and it's gonna be a limited run. But I'm just all like, why Sonic? It would make more sense if you grab like Golden Axe or Legend of Zelda, because that actually fits the fucking theme. The hell are you gonna do
Well,
with Sonic?
yeah,
What's Sonic's cards gonna be like? What's Sonic's power cards gonna involve? What you're gonna put a Chili Dog power card to like try to like get his shit up? Like what? What the fuck?
well, my issue be more so like what color or landmatic they're going to be, because it's like, okay, so how? Because people like to do either like monocolor, do color, or tricolor decks, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so let's say Shadow is going to be Swamp for some reason, which still doesn't make sense on there.
Hmm.
Are you also going to do Dr. Eggman there, or what is Dr. Eggman going to be? Like,
Exactly.
what color is Sonic going to be? Sonic's going to be
Exactly.
forest, okay. Does Miles also be forest? Rose can also be forest? Knuckles all forest? So it's
Yeah.
like them, and then like it's either like is all of them going to be forest? Like I just can't see them coming up with enough cards for this run to do 5 different colors, because they want to give people variety if they want to build those certain colored theme decks,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? And I don't see it. Like, okay, you could make maybe they'd be plain and forest. Okay, I can see that. Don't really kind of see water except for like I don't know, Robo Sonic. That's because he's dark blue. Like I don't like. Yeah, and it's like Doctor Robotnik and all that stuff because they're evil automatically swamp. I don't see them in the swamp, so it's like I don't see most of these in the swamp. So
Exactly. I mean, what the fuck? And then what? Are you gonna put Silver in there? Do you really want to like just destroy Magic the
like time
Gathering like
travel,
that?
so he might be the white on it with time travel. But like, yeah, even so, like when you spread out all the characters, there, I don't think there's enough characters, even in the cartoons, different islands. Even if you put some rando, like when they had that Sonic on their own island, and you kind of see like, oh, these are people's dads and aunties and shit on there. I doubt they're gonna be put on cards there because there's not enough lore about them. But if they did, I just still can't see it catching on and shit on there, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, I guess go ahead. I mean, honestly, I think you would have had a better time as if you made the theme Sonic and versus Mario for the run, and then you get a bigger universe, because then at least you get some fire with browser and the stuff on there, and then you got some other shit that you can work on to get the 5 different colors. Like, I feel like that's the better option.
I honestly don't see Nintendo ever even touching Magic the Gathering since Pokemon, like since their Pokemon cards are just making
Yeah, they're
so much
directly
money.
for that shit on there. So
Yeah,
like, honestly, I probably make more sense more of a Mario Pokemon card run theme than this Sonic with
exactly.
Magic.
It just makes no. It makes no sense. Why Sonic in particular? Like Sega actually has legitimate like fantasy themed stuff. Golden Axe being the big one. In fact, the reason why I'm mentioning Golden Axe so hard is because Golden Axe is coming back. Because I don't know if you watched the Summer Games, this past Summer Games Fest or whatever, but Sega was proudly announced its Sega Surge or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be called, or whatever the fuck it's called. So Golden Axe is coming back. Final Fight. Streets of Rage is going full 3D mode. Jet Set Radio is coming back.
Yes, yes, love Jet Set Radio. That was such an underrated fucking game. Making your own graffiti, fucking tight ass fucking music track on there, grinding graffiti. Understand the concept of love.
Yeah.
That was fucking great, man.
Crazy Taxis coming back. Shinobi, there was a trailer for that.
Dude, I want them to fucking redo Gauntlet of Dark Legacy.
Was that Sega's?
Dude, I don't remember. Like, bro, it was on that GameCube when well, I mean, it was a real arcade game, but then they had it on the GameCube, and that was fun, man. It's like you go to different ones, you can get the weapon to be better for the other ones, and all this stuff. And I've been waiting for them to fucking put it on something else. I've been waiting for them to fucking put that shit on a Switch for the longest time.
Well, you could go to the if you're in the EU, like try to sign that petition for Stop Killing Games initiative. Um, it's just that yeah, I don't know. It's just I really can't see why Sonic. I mean, is it? I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like, oh, Doug, Sonic's riding high with his movie career. The Knuckles TV show was apparently really well received, even though, okay. I get that. Like, and Sonic
Well, if they're gonna
is,
do that, why don't they do the Night Before Christmas Magic Card limited edition set? That would be fucking popular.
yeah. But then again, I don't think Tim Burton will want anything to do with that. But then I don't know. But that could be Warner Brothers' call because,
Dude,
uh,
if Tim Burton made a whole Magic of the Set thing from all the movies, like Princess Bride, The Corpse Bride, fucking Night Before Christmas, all that shit, Edward Scissorhands, dude, they could clean up. I'm just saying.
I'm not. Hey, I'm totally. I actually agree with you. But then again, like with because Warner Brothers, they shit the bed when with multiverses. I mean, when it first came out, it was great. Everybody loved it. Then when support started to wane, no, not support. When the player base started to drop off, for some reason they just took it down for like a year and a half, and then when they put it back up, they put ridiculous microtransactions, which killed any fans. Like that was that was the case of taking a legitimate like Smash clone and fucking it up. Like it was a good game that had like a bunch of Warner characters ranging from the Iron Giant to Bugs Bunny to Taz to Batman to Velma. I'm not talking about like Velma. I mean like OG Scooby Doo Velma. I think the Velma had an unlockable costume, but whatever. Anyway, you see my point. And they fucked it up. Like they fucked that up. God damn it, Warner Brothers. And, and it was Zaslav himself who's like, oh, and he was CEO of Discovery when he proposed the fucking merger. And then he's just like, oh, if we're one company, then everything will be fantastic. Fast forward to today, he's like, oh, well, if we're two companies, we'll be fantastic. And whereas the more successful streaming side's gonna go, and the cable side of things, it's gonna die out because cable's been going down the drain.
Well, his original thought was, okay, first off, bad investment buying stuff that had the CNN plus plus
Oh,
that only lasted a month and cost you like fucking what $300 billion. Like
yes.
that was a bad fucking thing on there. Second, he thought like Warner Discovery might have enough IP that he could shelf off to write off the bad investments Discovery's made, and he was wrong. And he should have realized like if he would have did his due diligence and got like a forensic accountant before he even did the merger, like when they were talking about it and looked on it, he should have realized Warner Brothers don't have enough good shit that you could shelf to write off the hole that Discovery was in. You
Yeah.
needed to cut down on a lot of these fucking ideas Discovery was having. Shut that shit down. They needed to pick some fucking good shows that got a lot of fucking shit like with MythBusters and like Adam Planet's River Monster shit on there. You should have boosted those more up, or you let the people walk away from that shit on there, and you were left with nothing. Like, you know,
Yeah, and
and because look at the Food Network channel. They just basically play Guy Fieri shows, fucking like 60% of all their shit,
yeah,
and that just keeps them in business. And they got like Bobby Flay shit, and they got a sprinkle of other bad shit,
yeah.
but that works. Hmm.
And this is why I was like, this is the fucking tragic. This is the tragedy right here. When Warner Brothers was its own company and they launched Max, right? They did it right. They absolutely did it right. They're like, look, we're gonna take a bath on this for a good long while before we start making profit. So here's what we're going to do. We'll use the popularity of Game of Thrones as our flagship for now. But behind the scenes, we're gonna start doing more stuff. Comic book movies are a fad. Let's get this one thing straight. So let's bring back an old favorite, the Young Justice. People are still clamoring for that and it wants to go mature. Let's do it. Oh, what's that? Oh, hey, creator of Steven Universe. You want to do it? You want to put Infinity Train on here? Cool. Hey, JG Quintel, creator of
Regular show.
regular show. How about you do close enough for Max? Venture Brothers is getting canceled? No, 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 no. We will give it the proper finale. You come to Max. And they were doing all these moves, these right moves, right, to attract a good fan base, get the sales numbers up and up and up and up and up. And, like, Warner knew that if they knew they were going to take a bath on this, they were going to lose a lot of money, but in the long term end, they're going to start seeing profit. Then Zaslav comes in, fucking proposes the merger. The board of directors are telling it to go, are telling the CEO to approve it, and it's been approved. Now all of a sudden, Warner's got this huge ass new debt that they have to do, and that's all the cost cutting shit. Infinity Train got canceled. Fucking Young Justice got canceled. Fucking Batgirl movie got shelved. JG Close Enough got canceled. All this shit, and I'm just like, so tragic. And it could have been avoided.
It's tragic because it's like when you have a cult following. Yes, I know they're looking at the numbers, and yes, a lot of cult followings aren't probably as are going to be smaller than if you can hit Magic on a nationwide hit film. But the big problem with that is that chances of hitting Magic on a nationwide film is going to be way less lower than just going with like, let's say you have only like a million cult followers, right? But those cult followers are gonna watch that shit all the time. If you do a rerun on a special occasion, you're gonna get there, so you can still advertise it for that.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to swing for the park for a hit wonder, if it doesn't go well on the first opening day and the first couple of days, you're gonna have a flop, and now you have like hundreds of millions of dollars invested in there, and you're losing money. Like Black Adam, like this other shit, like. But if you did this other thing where you know you can sell it, you just got to be smart with the budget, and you can sell it. And it's like, bro, like we got at least a million in the bag, at least. And they call other people like it might go up to 5 million. It might be great, and it might catch on for some reason. And it's like it's basically it was a low bar that could accelerate really high, but you're like, nah, let's take our chances with this other shit on the off chance that we win the lottery.
Add to
And
that.
it's like, but the problem is that you also suck at casting, man. And whenever you suck at casting, chances are you hitting it is going to be very low, bro. Unless you spend a lot of money on a lot of A-list celebrities that have high Q ratings. And that means you got to get so much more money to even be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's already a losing business model.
Yeah, it just sucks. It really does. And like I knew that like this fucking it really does piss me off. You let them.
And the most thing that pisses off is that they paid a bitch a consulting fee of like $20 million to tell them to do this shit in the first place. Got it wrong. Paid her to also change her name from Max, from HBO to Max. Then paid her again to go back, and then paid her another $10 million to say that we should not have been together in the first place. You basically paid $30 million for a bitch to tell you we should merge together, and then you should unmerge together.
Congratulations. That's the power of today's leadership. Everybody, so
Yeah,
stupid.
And they kept paying this guy. They still raised up his fucking bonus.
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand how you can fail this bad, have these bad ideas, and still not get fired and get a raise.
that
But
that
you're in a hole.
that really fucking that really pisses me off. The guy fucks up and manages to fail his way to the top. Piece of fucking garbage. That's
And it's like you can't get rid of him because it's almost just like with college coaches. Well, if you fire him because you have a contract, you got to buy out his contract. So it's like so basically, once the person gets in there, no matter what he does, he's going to be fine by himself, even though he's dragging your company down. And if
mm-hmm.
he drags your company down, you just can't fire him. You got to pay his fucking ass out millions of dollars that you don't have because he couldn't fix your problem.
I I'm I
And now you're in a deeper hole. And know what you end up doing is you make even worse decisions by your being like, well, then let's let go of our great animators who were the only possible hope of us turning around. So we can hire cheaper animators and go cheaper and do crappy CGI shit and then wonder why is this not working?
I know. It's just uh
If you're in a hole already, why not to spend the money to make a great thing? Like you already deluded yourself thinking that you could pass this. So let's go full on delusions. Like, you can't do half scare bets, bro. You're either all in or all out. And if you're thinking you're gonna be all out, you need to be all out and then start selling assets to other people that could do it and money and maybe like de-invest yourself in all partnerships. Maybe that's gonna get smaller. Maybe that's what you gotta do. But your greedy ass is not gonna do that because you like the pace you're gonna go. So that means you gotta go the other way. And you just gotta be like, we're already in a hole. Let's see how much credit we can borrow on this shit and wish on this fucking lottery ticket that this will hit. That's it.
I feel it. And the other tragic part is like Cartoon Network's gonna die. Cartoon
Honestly, I started thinking it
Cartoon
was already
Network.
dying after they got rid of Cartoon, with
No,
Ed, Ed and
I'll
Eddie,
still say
Johnny Bravo.
I'll still say that like their renaissance was real. I mean, We Bear Bears was fantastic. Steven Universe was great. Granted, the sequel sucked. I didn't want to see.
Gumball, I was kind of skeptical at first watching it.
I
It
don't
grew on
like
me.
Gumball. I don't like Gumball at all. But I see how rabid the fan base is, so I'll just acknowledge it because I thought
Yeah,
Gumball
it
was
grew on
just
me. They have enough episodes on their stuff on there. I still think they should have kept the original Teen Titans, but Teen Titans Go has proven number wise to be a success. Even though it's not necessarily always my cup of tea, I will watch a couple episodes. There's a couple episodes that make me laugh. Not gonna say it's all bad. I'm just still saying that the original Teen Titans was better,
mhm.
and if they would have kept it going, they could have even had both. Honestly, it might have been better if they did both. They could have did like Teen Titans Go in the morning for the kids, and it did like a dark, almost kind of like a pseudo Adult Swim type of run with the OG Teen Titans and Young Justice
Yeah.
and some other shit, and then also the Looney Tunes show. 'Cause that's more adults show there. They could have had a nice little tight run there, man.
It just sucks, man. It really does, because like Cartoon Network, that was my jam when I was a kid. I got raised by that, and like people were telling me about the new Renaissance, and I started watching. I actually tuned in. I didn't look it up on like my laptop. I actually watched it on TV and put up with the commercials and shit. But man, oh man. So for Cartoon Network to have this slow death while Adult Swim gets eaten up by Max is that's evil, man. That's all manner of wrong. It's kind of like what Sony did to Funimation when they merged Funimation with Crunchyroll. I mean, it, it sucked, but at least Crunchyroll had the numbers. Cartoon Network was still pulling in. It's just the it's again the merger. That's literally what happened. And now they're gonna be left out to die on the cable side of things. And since cable's dying, that's gonna go around. God damn it! That's such a morbid way to end the Slab Lounge on, isn't it?
Hey, in the motor worlds of Joni Earth, that Republican fucking lawmaker. Well, everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, yeah. That being said, Jesus. Thanks for tuning in, listeners. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can listen to the Slab Lounge and all of our other podcasts, ranging from Fork in the Road, Demo Crazy, and our newest one, which is gonna be recorded today, Out of the Frying Pan, on either YouTube, on Spotify, and Amazon Music, because all those we're on those three platforms, and we are live on those three platforms. That being said, you all take care. Later on. Boop.